What's up, movie nerds? This is your girl, CC, and let's get candid with Candid Cinema Podcast. So on today's episode, we're going to be talking about Kiki's delivery service because we just watched that a couple of days ago, and since we didn't get to do that for the last episode, we're going to talk about it a little bit here. And then we're going to do 2 tournament brackets for some of the big hitters in kids' movies now and since the 1990s, Pixar and DreamWorks. So we're going to see who comes out on top for both of our picks for basically the best DreamWorks and Pixar movie. So let's talk about that. So Kiki's delivery service, how did you enjoy that?
I enjoyed it quite a bit. It was it was an interesting movie. It took a little bit to warm up to at the beginning, I think.
That's like with all Studio Ghibli movies, it feels like.
And it was interesting that at the age of 13, she was basically on her own.
Yeah, well, if you're in Pokemon, it's the age of 10 that you get kicked out and told to go.
Yeah, I suppose so.
So at least they give like 3 more years.
And she was pretty excited to go. I mean, all right, see you later.
Yeah, she really wanted to go. She wanted to go and figure out how to make her way in the world, as is the rite of passage for her community.
Yeah. And she didn't fly very well. You know, she was a little
It's
accident prone, sort
yeah,
of.
because they even had to put like bells in the trees and stuff just to hear if she like crashed into them. So they know that she's not a good driver or flyer.
And she took along her cat, Phil Hartman.
Which I always want to say Paul Hartman for some reason. Phil doesn't click apparently. But that was one of his last voice roles. It was released posthumously, and I think he did a good job with it. I liked it.
Yeah, I think so. It wasn't, the voice was a little shocking at first because he really didn't put much
cat into it
or much difference from his own regular voice in it. I mean, it was basically Phil Hartman.
That's what you get with Billy Crystal too, and like basically all the other ones. They didn't really try to hide their voices.
No, I suppose they didn't. But Billy
Crystal
Crystal
Robert Pattinson, maybe.
But Billy Crystal for the what was
Calcifer.
That? Calcifer was just excellent.
Yeah, it was a pretty perfect casting. But I liked Phil Hartman. See, I did it just then. I like Phil Hartman in this one.
And then the cat couldn't talk anymore. I mean, what was up with that?
Because she was losing her powers, because she was depressed and discouraged over her job and over Tombo.
Tombo, what kind of a name is that?
It's his name.
But it was fun. I learned dirigible. Yeah.
The word dirigible?
Yeah, rigid airship. That's what I used to always call them. Didn't know they actually had a name.
Mm-hmm. The only thing that was a little sad about the ending was that the cat Gigi never spoke after the fact that he lost his voice to Kiki.
Yeah, but we agreed that he got it back.
Yes.
I mean, we're agreeing, right?
Yeah.
Shake on that. We're agreeing that he got his voice back.
Uh-huh. And we just they were just like, we won't show it. It's okay.
That's right.
But like all the flashbacks showed him on Kiki's broom and still like flying around with her doing deliveries. So they must be able to talk about it, because not some regular cat's going to want to go up like with her on her broom flying around.
And she got a new broom. She got a push broom instead of
that was funny.
Whisk broom.
Yeah. Kiki's delivery service, I would put that around the same vein as Howl's Moving Castle. I think I'd give it a 7 out of 10.
Yeah, I'd give it that. Yeah, that's right. I would.
It was a good movie. I liked it. It was cute.
It was, yeah.
All right, let's move on to our tournaments now. So first we're going to do Pixar, and I have 20 movies up here. That's basically a little less than the amount that's out right now, but there are a couple of movies that we have not seen. But I think we've seen at least 90% of them.
Okay, well, on the first one, Ratatouille and Brave, you definitely put the worst up against a strong team, like they do in regular
Brave
basketball.
Brave is not the worst. It's
a weak movie.
Yeah, it's a good movie, but it definitely does not stand up to Ratatouille.
Yeah, it didn't make it's out of the tourney.
Yeah.
What's next? Finding Nemo, and Toy Story
3. Yeah.
That's
Again, a weak movie going up against a strong movie. Obviously, Finding Nemo goes on. Toy Story 3 would have been a great ending to a good trilogy, but then they wanted to keep going, and now they're making another Toy Story, which is just wild to me. Next up on our thing is Toy Story and Monsters University. Toy Story obviously continues on.
I'd agree.
All right. And then the last one on this first bracket is Cars 3 and The Incredibles.
Cars 3, hands down.
No, why? That is not true. There's no way on God's green earth that Cars 3 beats out The Incredibles. Cars 3 was better than Cars 2, though. I will say that.
Really?
Yeah, it had a better story. It had at least a car story instead of the second one where it was a spy story for some reason. So Toy Story 2 and Ratatouille.
I'm going to go with Toy Story 2.
Yeah, right.
I mean Ratatouille.
I'm doing Ratatouille. It was one of the best Pixar movies ever.
Inside Out and Monsters, Inc., and I got to go with Inc.
You're going to go with Monsters, Inc.?
Definitely.
I actually liked Inside Out more than Monsters, Inc.
Finding Dory and Finding Nemo.
Sorry, the first is better than the second.
Yeah.
Finding Dory was... It's not even that it wasn't as good as the first one. I just don't think it was good.
Yeah, I don't think it was good.
So the next one is Cars and Up. And crazily enough, as much as I liked Up and its beautiful 5-minute love story in the beginning, I think Cars was better for me.
Yeah, I like Cars.
The next bit is The Incredibles 2 and Toy Story. And despite me loving The Incredibles 2 just did not...
Yeah, I'm going to go with Toy Story on this one.
Did not capture the essence of the original.
Yeah. If it wasn't for the line, falling with style, I don't think Toy Story would have made it. All right, next one is Luca and Turning Red, and I don't think
Wait, did you say that the only reason why Toy Story beat out The Incredibles 2 was that line?
Nah, it was just kidding, though.
Okay. I thought that Luca was better.
Yeah, I'm going with Luca.
Yeah, I thought it was just more of a feel-good story, and it didn't seem like the parents were the bad guys, which I just don't know why they wanted to do that in Turning Red. You didn't even say off the bracket. You're going too fast.
Cars 2 and The Incredibles. I'm going to go with The Incredibles.
Obviously, The Incredibles. I don't even know what kind of story they were trying to do with Cars 2, but it just fell flat.
And Coco and Wall-E. I'm gonna have to go with
Wall-E
Coco.
was fun, but Coco was so good. And I just recently saw it in the theaters for the AMC fan faves, and I cried again. That is one of the movies that I'm gonna cry a little. So first off is Ratatouille and Inside Out, and as much as I liked Inside Out, and for my dad, it's Monsters Inc. and Ratatouille.
Yeah, that's right. I'm going
with Ratatouille. So Ratatouille was amazing. You're thinking?
Yeah, I'm having to think on that one because I did like Monsters Inc. But I guess I got to go with Ratatouille.
You don't have to. You can go with Monsters Inc. if you thought it was better. You'd be wrong, but you can do it.
I'm aware.
And the next one is Finding Nemo and Cars. That's kind of hard, but I'm going with Cars.
Gosh, I got to think about that one too.
Finding Nemo scared me as a kid. That barracuda was scary, so I'm going to go with one that evoked a little bit more happiness.
I guess I got to go with Cars as well. Although, if Nemo was up against Toy Story, I'd probably pick Nemo.
Yeah. The next one is Toy Story and Luca.
That's a tough one as well. I think I'm going to go with Toy Story.
Kind of want to go with Luca, but then again, Toy Story was so good as well, and it was very well done. I think I'll probably go with Toy Story too. That one is a very hard one.
I'm going with over The Incredibles and Coco. I'm going with The Incredibles.
Yeah, The Incredibles beats out Coco. Now these are our last four. We're going with Ratatouille and Cars, and I gotta go with Ratatouille.
I'm going with Cars.
You're crazy. And then we're going with Toy Story and The Incredibles, but The Incredibles wins again. And I'm sorry, but if you thought The Incredibles was gonna lose out on any of these, then you haven't seen my poster.
Yeah, I guess I got to go with The Incredibles over Cars as well.
Yes, The Incredibles win for sure. And Ratatouille is definitely my second favorite Pixar film ever. The Incredibles was just an amazing movie.
I think it was well written. It was very entertaining. It's something I'd watch again just because of it was just well written.
The fact that The Incredibles 2 just seemed to take what The Incredibles did and then take it down a few notches was just sad.
I was just looking over some of these movies you got on the next one.
I saw.
They're
They're hard. This one's going to be hard. This one's going to be really hard. Because now we're going to the second tournament for DreamWorks.
All right, so The Road to El Diablo.
Dorado.
And the bad guys. I guess I got to go with The Road.
Yeah, I would. The Road to El Dorado was really good.
All right, next one is Megamind and Shrek 3, and there's no
contest. There's no contest. Shrek 3 was not great.
I liked Megamind a lot. It was the perfect spoof on superheroes.
Yeah.
I mean, just was.
Oh my gosh, talk about a quotable movie for sure.
Chicken Run and Puss in Boots. I'm thinking Chicken Run.
Me too. Chicken Run scared me as a kid, but then I watched it again as older person, and it was and now that you've gotten past the fear and you can just watch the movie, it was written very well. I thought it was a really good movie, and then watching the second one just depressed me, so it's not on this list.
So Shrek and B movie, I'm going with
Shrek. 100%. I don't know what Jerry Seinfeld was thinking when he made that.
I don't know.
That one was crazy.
All right, the next one is Flushed Away, and I don't even need to read the next one.
What the heck? Just say what the next part
The Road to El Dorado.
As really good as El Dorado was, I did enjoy Flushed Away better. And again, talk about a quotable movie.
Yeah, I like Flushed Away is definitely a
I'm
favorite
an
of
innocent
mine.
bystander.
Yeah.
I think he said his name was Millicent.
Bystander. So then you got Shark Tale and
Spirit.
Spirit.
Remember, that's the horse movie.
Gosh, I got to go with Shark Tale then.
Really?
Yeah.
Shark Tale over Spirit? I thought Spirit was better. For me, I thought Spirit was better. It had a better...
It doesn't matter. Neither one of these are going to last.
Spirit was just a gorgeous horse.
So Over the Hedge and Megamind. Again, no contest.
Yeah, Megamind beats Over the Hedge.
The Wild Robot, Kung Fu Panda. I actually like both of those quite a bit, but I guess I got to go with The Wild Robot on this one.
You think so?
Yeah.
Your reasoning?
I enjoyed it.
You enjoyed both.
I enjoyed it better.
I'm going with The Wild Robot as well. Talk about a movie that evokes emotion incredibly well. Kung Fu Panda was really good. And up against some other movies, it would have totally won, but...
All right, Shrek 2 and Chicken Run. Shrek 2.
Shrek 2. Gosh, Shrek 2 was a masterpiece as well as Shrek 1. And again, it's a quotable movie.
Yeah, don't wave those meaty little sausages at me.
Oh, and then the he doesn't even have dental.
Don't write that down. No dental.
It's just great.
Madagascar versus Monsters versus Aliens. I got to go with Monsters and Aliens.
Yeah, again, Madagascar is great, but Monsters versus Aliens was just so funny. It was just so good. And we just watched that recently as well. Had my grandmother watch it for the first time, and she liked it.
Madagascar actually kind of irritated me in a few spots.
Really?
Yeah.
You know what? I can understand that.
Next one is Puss in Boots 2 and Shrek, and I got to go with Shrek.
Yeah. Maybe Puss in Boots 2 should have gone against a different one. It would have gone up. It would have gone farther. Shrek was perfect though. The Puss in Boots 2 with the wolf bad guy. I mean, it was a gorgeous movie. It was really good, but it just can't beat Shrek.
No. Trolls versus Wallace Gromit and the Curse of the Were-Rabbit. I'm not going to write out that entire thing, but I'm going with Wallace.
Yeah. Trolls 1, funnily enough, I liked Trolls 3 better than Trolls 1. A little bit better than Trolls 1. I mean, I like the music and they did really good with the singing, but Wallace and Gromit is just good.
Trolls was too 8-year-old girly girl movie with the rainbows and pixie dust
the third
and
one,
glitter.
The third one rounded it out. I think the third one fixed everything that was sort of like in that vein from the first movie, and it did. The third one was really good, but you didn't watch the third one, so I didn't put it on this list. But Wallace and Gromit was just really good.
Who made Transylvania?
Hotel Transylvania? I don't know. I don't think it was DreamWorks.
Because that one was a good one. I like that. And I liked, what was it, the second one on the cruise ship?
No. Yes.
That was
Yes, that was the
That
second
was
one.
funny. All right, Flushed Away versus Shark Tale's new contest.
Mine is Flushed Away versus Spirit, and I did like Flushed Away more.
Megamind versus the Wild Robot. Megamind.
You said that so quick. You didn't. I mean, Megamind was better for me. There's also nostalgia mixed in there as well.
Megamind. I mean, the Wild Robot. Is a movie I'll definitely watch again. I liked it, but but Megamind was to me. I was gonna say far more entertaining, but to me again, it's one of those spoofs that it makes you laugh almost at every corner.
Mm-hmm. Since we're going Megamind versus the Wild Robot, I also feel like the nostalgia gives it a little edge as well, but also the fact that this comes down to like preference, really. It's not that either one beats out the other for the technical terms of a good movie. Just happens to be preference.
And I don't know that I would even put Wild Robot up in the same genre as Megamind because the Wild Robot was more drama oriented, where Megamind was clearly comedic.
It was a comedy.
Yeah.
Right. So again, that is a preference. Do you like comedies more or do you like dramas more? Like preference. This is what that comes down to.
Yeah. All right, Shrek 2 versus Monsters versus Aliens.
That's so difficult. But I really think it's Shrek 2.
Yeah, because Monsters versus Aliens, it's not a no contest. It's a tight contest.
It is.
I did like Monsters versus Aliens quite a bit.
Really good. It was
but
really good.
I gotta go with Shrek 2.
But I think Shrek 2 just had a little bit more depth to it. Just a little bit more. It beat it out like a hair's edge.
Which is kind of saying a lot on a sequel, you know?
No, like the Shrek 2 was on par with Shrek 1, really. But then they just killed it with Shrek 3.
Shrek versus Wallace and Gromit in The Curse of the Were-Rabbit.
Yeah.
And even though there was a lot of lines in that one, like...
Not even Wensleydale.
I would like my
hair.
Toupee. No, there's like rabbits.
Toupee.
Those are rabbits.
I mean, again, it comes down to preference, really. I mean, but they're not even in the same vein either, really. This was hard. This middle row was very hard.
So, all right, next one is Flushed Away versus Megamind, and gosh, that's a toughie. You think I don't recognize a Lou when I see one? I like Flushed Away.
Flushed Away was really good.
It had...
and you would never know that Hugh Jackman was the lead.
I really did like Flushed Away, but I'd have to... I'm still giving the
I'm going
nod.
to Megamind, though. I liked Megamind more.
I'm going with Megamind, too.
Wow, it's kind of funny. We're going Shrek versus Shrek 2 on the next one.
I got to go with Shrek 1 on this one.
Wouldn't it be weird if I went Shrek 2? I kind of want to, though. Because you got Puss. You finally got Puss in Boots in there as well. And a little bit more to everything. But also, Shrek was just really good as well. The first one was just really good, too. John Lithgow was just really good as Farquaad.
Oh, isn't it precious? You're
it was
a monster.
That they're both so good.
No, you're the monster.
Or he's wearing women's underpants.
That was
Say you're wearing women's underpants. I'm wearing women's. Are you? I most certainly am not.
You most certainly are.
Gosh, they both were so good. I mean, it's so difficult. But I guess I'll go with Shrek 1.
She says it begrudgingly and sadly.
It's because it was the first. Now, between Shrek and Megamind, gosh, that's a terrible matchup.
Yeah, I'm going with a tie on here. They actually, it's going to be a draw with me. Draw.
You think so? A draw?
Yeah.
You're not doing the hard thing here and actually...
I don't think I can because there were so many quotable quotes on each one of them, and I enjoyed them both. Really, quite literally the same.
Yeah. Oh, merry man.
You don't know what's good for bad. I know what's good for bad.
You don't know what's good for
bad
good.
for bad. No, it's good for bad.
How did you find our hideout? There's literally a placemat that says secret hideout. Yeah, I don't know how to choose between the two of these. I really don't. They're so very good.
I think if I had to choose one, I'd probably go with Shrek. If I had to choose one.
And because it came first, and it was just a little bit more adult, I suppose.
I suppose.
Well, then I'll go with Megamind and even it out. There we go. We have a draw.
Yeah, there's the draw.
Honestly, again, both were just the same. They're same, really, in their perfection. It's really good. This one was difficult. I think DreamWorks had more of close shaves than the Pixar did.
Out of all those, which movie would I have chosen as my top favorite? It's probably going to be in the Incredibles anyway. But I think after that, I'd probably go with these two, the Megamind and Shrek. After that, and probably even Shrek 2, to be honest with you. Then maybe Cars and so on and so forth.
Ratatouille is, I think, in the same draw vein as Shrek and Megamind for me.
But these are well made animated movies.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't think of a Disney movie that really of recent history that can go up against them.
Of recent history, yeah, that's fair. I mean, I enjoyed a lot. I enjoyed The Princess and the Frog a lot, and I feel like that and Tangled for me seemed like the decline at that point, because then they stopped doing hand-drawn stuff. They went to the 3D animation, which was Pixar's thing, really. And then I think they should have kept doing the drawn-out stuff. I think a lot of movies were just better because they were... No, I can't say that. They were better because they were hand-drawn, but it just gave a bit of more heart and life to it.
Yeah.
I mean, technically, Disney and Pixar are the same now, but I'm never going to say that Pixar and Disney are the same, because they just aren't.
Yeah.
But what's cool is that the Studio Ghibli was brought over to the U.S. through Disney because of John Lasseter, which was a Pixar guy. He was friends with Hayao Miyazaki, and that was the in that we got the Studio Ghibli movies because of.
Oh, wow. That's an interesting connection.
Mm-hmm. So it's very nice. Anyway, so we figured out our tournaments and we talked about Kiki's delivery service. Thank you for watching our second Candid Cinema podcast. Comment down below if you agree with our tournament picks or what you would have chosen as your first pick for Pixar or DreamWorks. Now what you're going to see is some boxes. The first one is our first Candid Cinema podcast, and then right here are all of the movie reviews. Go and look at the movie reviews. They're great. And then if you click right here, you can go straight to my channel and watch anything else that's up there. I've got shorts and a bunch of stuff. So just remember, right here at Candid Cinema, it's okay to talk, it's okay to text, and I will CC you later. Bye.
Bye.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.